Welcome back to the farm. My name's Roz, also known as Passion Flower, and you'll find me here each week talking about my farming and creative life. It's been a fairly nice winter week here on the farm. We've had icy and foggy mornings, but most days have turned out to be fairly sunny and even a little warm for this time of year, actually. We had one day where we even didn't light the fire during the day or in the evening, so it's been really quite pleasant. So I thought I'd take the opportunity to actually get outside of the shed just around the garden here and show you the garden and surrounds as they are right now. So I took a walk and you can see the water tanks and the little grove of trees that we've planted near there to shield the shed from the road a little bit. Obviously, they still have quite a ways to go. They're very small plants still, but they've made a lot of growth in the last 6 to 8 months. They were tiny little saplings when we first planted them, so they're all doing really, really well. Then there's the grassed area that I have to mow all the time with the fence that we had to recreate to move the paddock back a little bit to account for the shed. The planter boxes, the one that's sort of sitting for the moment with all of the pea sprouts in it. And then there is the other one that's got our current veggies and garlic growing in there. And you can see the garden that I started, the very first part of the garden is just taken over. It's looking quite cottagey and nice. And now we're sort of starting to plant out all of the other area on either side of the path. It's going to take a while. We're sort of experimenting with things to see what works and what doesn't. Some things have been eaten by rabbits and kangaroos, other things have just died. So we're kind of just trying a little bit, and if it doesn't work, just moving on and trying something else. You can see my nice path that has been a bit of a labour of love to keep all of the weeds out of. It's a regular job to do that. And then you can see the brickwork at the end that we discovered when we moved dirt in the making of the shed. So the outside is looking really lovely and starting to come together and feels quite welcoming. And I'm really proud of how it's all come together. And it's just so amazing and crazy to think that about 12 months ago, the shed was only just put up. There was not any of the garden here, and I was only just settling into working and recording in this space. Don't think we even had lights at this point. So it's been quite a lot that's been done. And now it's a really comfortable crafting space. It's my office and it's my dye studio. And I'm really happy that I'm able to share it with you. Well, as you can see, yes, I have finished my Radiate. It has the ends all woven in, but it is not blocked. I couldn't wait. I just had to wear it because there was no way that if I blocked it this week, it was going to be dry to show you on the video today. I also did wear it to unwind, sit and stitch last night. I just had to get it out and show it off. I am so happy with it. It's quite funny. The color stripes here that you can see on the video and don't show up quite that dramatically in person. It's much more subtle than that, but I really do love how those scoops of color are coming out. So I finished the sleeves. I ended up going for a sort of a bracelet length sleeve. I do push my sleeves up quite a bit, so this is quite a comfortable length. And if I'm cold, I'm probably going to be wearing like gloves with like long bits anyway. So I thought I might as well go for a length that's more comfortable just for doing stuff around the place. But it's a bit silly. I took forever to do the first sleeve and I did the second sleeve in under a week. I think the final push to get the jumper done was just too much. I also had a really helpful comment from Kerry after last week's video. So thank you, Kerry. I took your advice. She said to bundle up the jumper, sort of turn it inside out on itself and turn it into a small bundle so that it makes it easier to move around. And that definitely helped. That and knowing that it was on the home stretch. And also, which is something I didn't really realize, is with the first sleeve, I was taking it off the small needles and putting it onto a longer cable to try it on quite a couple of times. And I didn't have to do that with the second one because I'd already had all of the numbers written down. So all I had to do was just knit. So all of those things combined meant for a much faster knit on the second sleeve. Yeah, so I'm really happy with it. I wonder if I can show you. So here it is. It's a nice sort of length around the waist, nice arm length, and it's the same at the back. So I'm really happy with how it's turned out. So just as a reminder, it's the Radiate by Hohu Locatelli. I knit it on 4mm needles. I used my Chiaogu red lace and the Chiaogu shorties for the sleeves. The green is a Corriedale silk blend by Colleen's Crafts, and the brown is a natural brown by Bennett and Gregor. And it's so soft and lovely, and it hasn't even been washed. So when I wash it with some shampoo and give it a little bit of love, I'm sure it's going to come out to be really lovely as well. So what do I do now? I haven't chosen another jumper pattern as yet. I have plenty of yarn that I can make jumpers with, absolutely plenty. There's actually 2 yarns that I have tried to make a jumper with before. That was a striped pattern. That was a massive fail. So I've ripped all that out and I have all the yarn ready to go for another jumper. So I'm looking for a new striped jumper pattern that might work for those. So that could end up happening. But I don't know, maybe I'll just take a break from jumpers for a while. We'll see what mood takes me really, because I don't know. So I've been knitting on my spiral socks. I'm onto the second one and I have turned the heel and I'm knitting on the leg. I've just about got to the cuff, so these are almost done. I think then I'll probably take a break from doing the spiraling and I might go back to just some plain coloured socks. I'm also thinking that perhaps I'll take a little break from knitting and go back to my granny stripe blanket. I grabbed it out last night because I thought I might work on it at Unwind. I didn't, but it's made me really want to get back into doing it. I'm just loving how my colours are coming together. So these are all scraps of my own hand-dyed yarn with a neutral that I dyed to go through in between each stripe. I have a bag full of all of these little scraps of colour that I need to add in. Now, what I need to do, and I did it and I've lost the piece of paper, is weigh how much 2 rows of the colour takes up so that I can then go through all the scraps that I have and know for sure which ones are going to go all the way across and back again and which ones might only be able to go 1 row or which ones might not be able to get into this at all. Because I do want to try and keep all of the colours as double stripes and not sort of mix the colours through. So I need to do that part first and then I can sort out all of my scraps and properly keep track of them all. In Ravelry, I'm actually writing, as I do a colour, I'm adding it to a list in my project notes so that I know which colours are which as I go and what order they're all in, so that I can also keep track to make sure that I am adding all of my colours into this blanket, because that's my aim. I want to put all of my own hand-dyed colours into this blanket and make it sort of an ongoing project until I run out of the contrast in between. Well, that's it for another week. Thanks for spending some time with me. If you're enjoying these videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I look forward to seeing you next week on the farm. Bye.